Hey everybody, welcome to Mom Talks. I'm Laura. It's so great to see you this week. We are with Kristen Kimper, a registered dietitian at St. Louis Children's Hospital, and we're continuing our series about back to school. One of the biggest challenges my family has is that back to school, with the element of school, sports, clubs, music, and just being a parent and having a life, we tend to go to the fast food's dark side. But we want to ask Kristen today, is it really the dark side? Or how can we balance what we're doing with our kids and their dinner habits? So thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
I also want to encourage everybody, if you have your questions, please submit them. I have a bunch, but we want to hear from you too. So I think starting out, is there a hard and fast rule when it comes to fast food?
Yeah, not really. We all know fast food is not the most healthy option all of the time, but we, as a fellow mom, totally get it. Sometimes there's just no time for anything else.
Sometimes this is just what it is.
It is what it is. And that's when it comes down to, you can go to a fast food restaurant and still make healthy choices.
Okay.
It might not be the same as your home cooked grilled chicken breast.
Sure.
But it's, you can make good choices.
Okay.
And I think that's what it's all about is, you have that week where you have to go 3 times a week, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Just try to make healthy choices.
Okay, so what are some of those healthy choices that maybe if we can pick one over the other, sweet, it's a win for everybody. Sometimes it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I would say generally, no matter which restaurant, not picking names, anytime you can get just like a plain hamburger or a plain cheeseburger, try to not get the, double quarter-pound Whopper, just like
they get taller and taller and taller.
And that sauce that's dripping off of it, like that's where you run into like your extra calories and that kind of thing, is the double and triple patties.
Less creamy condiments.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, plain hamburger, plain cheeseburger, lettuce, tomato.
Okay.
May not be the most filling always, but a better choice when you're on the go.
Okay.
Chicken nuggets, not terrible. I mean, try not to get the 14 or 20 pack, especially for your kid. 6 probably, depending on the activity of your kid and the age of your kid, by all means.
Okay.
But if your kid's that one that like sometimes eats 4, sometimes eats 6, get the 6.
Yeah.
If you're the kid who eats 6, sometimes 10, get the 10. I mean, feed your child, but don't get them the 20 pack.
Got it. And I feel like places are also recognizing the drink options more.
Yes.
And that makes a big difference of going from a soda, or you can get a water or a milk or a juice or whatever.
Some places
we should keep in mind with those.
Yeah, some places will do like even a sugar-free lemonade or a sugar-free drink, where you can still kind of treat your kids
satisfied.
Yeah. So I would tell you, if you're doing fast food once every other week, if that's kind of your MO is once every other week, I wouldn't stress about the drink. If you're doing fast food 3 times a week, because this is life this week.
This is life.
That might be the week you need to really focus on skim milk, water.
Got it.
Stay away from the juices.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
So this was like literally last night. This was our life. We were at work all day. We were running around. My older son had baseball practice. We had to help prep for a baseball tournament this weekend. So I was at a fitness class. So then by the time we all reconvened, it was 8 o'clock, and we're all starving.
Yeah.
And
Beyond
it was
starving.
like, oh, no, let's not do fast food. We went home, we cooked dinner. By the time we all sat down and ate, it was 9 o'clock. And I'm like, that doesn't seem much better. Like, eating late like that doesn't seem like, is that better than just going to get fast food?
Sometimes it's hard to know. I think sometimes too you can reach that over hungry point.
Right.
So then it doesn't matter what you.
We call that hangry in our house.
Same. We call it other things too. But sometimes you get to that point. Then even if you eat a home cooked meal, you eat so much.
Yeah. Oh, I felt so gross.
Yeah. It doesn't.
This is gross.
Maybe you would have been better. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
But if you can control what you order so that you don't overeat at fast food, then it's not always worse.
There's a balance.
There is,
There's a balance. Okay.
I think we all have to realize that life is busy. We lead busy lives, working moms or not. Moms in general, we lead very busy lives, and sometimes the only way to fit in a meal is to pick it up on the way.
Well, I have to admit, my husband is like 90% of our cooking. So it's a good thing, because otherwise we probably would eat out a lot more than what we do. So thank goodness that, or we'd have a lot of cereal. I really like cereal.
Cereal, peanut butter, and jelly.
There you go. So when we're thinking about the fast food options, is there a pro or a con to try and find like those cold sandwiches or hot sandwich type places? Or is it actually, you know what, you're going to get more filled or calories? Or, like, what should we be thinking about?
Yeah, I always think of fast food as kind of like twofold. You've got like your burger and chicken nugget places, and then you've got more of like your cold cut sandwiches or warm heated sandwiches.
Yeah, which not everybody likes.
Yeah, and they're all fast food technically, but you kind of have two different branches. I would say either in moderation is probably fine. Okay. Again, if you go for like a more of a sandwich place, not getting the foot long or the extra large one. You can always cut back on like the cheeses, like not get the added cheese, or cutting back on the creamy, high calorie sauces. You know, you can have those by all means, but if it's a week where you know this is not going to be a good week, those are the weeks to cut back on.
And you know, hypothetically in our brains, I think we're all like, we should meal plan and we should do this, and it's like, we should.
Yeah. And you know, best laid plans. Sometimes you do meal plan on Sunday, and by Tuesday it's all out the window, and then you're on a new plan.
Yes. So we kind of touched about this off camera, but I think it's worth mentioning. So picky eaters, if you've got a picky eater and you're trying to just fill the void, do you touch your pediatrician? Are they fine? Like, is this something you should worry about if they're only eating chicken nuggets?
Right.
I think we can all attest there has been a chicken nugget phase in all of our lives. How do we do that?
I generally tell parents that if the child is growing, thriving, you know, you're not noticing anything weird, they're not super tired, they're not losing weight, they're probably fine. It's normal for kids to go in food jags. Some of those jags last like 2 years. I mean, it can happen. But it's totally normal. As a parent, it's frustrating. All you can really do is continue to offer other choices. If you notice your child's starting to lose weight, or you're concerned that they're starting to run out of energy, or you know you're concerned, that's definitely the time to talk to a pediatrician. Check and make sure everything's going okay. But most kids, normal functioning kids, they go through food jags, and that's just what they do.
Well, we've talked about fast food. I'm also thinking takeout. Like, we do takeout, so takeout Chinese, takeout pizza, you know, order out restaurant, whatever it is. Anything we should keep in mind with those kind of habits?
Yeah, I think same principles. No matter if it's fast food or more takeout like that, any of those kind of places are going to have a higher salt intake, or you know, they're going to have more sodium because it's more preservatives to keep those foods good for longer. Again, in moderation, totally fine, but it's something to be cautious of if you're falling into that, like, oh, we're doing this 6 nights a week all of a sudden. Something to just be cautious of is that you might be making healthy choices, but suddenly you're getting like tons and tons of extra salt.
Any kind of balance, or I know you can't like counteract the food you're doing, but say, like, again, we have a baseball tournament this weekend, so we're going to be concession standing it up for probably like lunch and dinner of the nachos, the yellow cheese from the pump. Delicious. Let's not judge here, people. But can I make up for it? Like, if I notice we're doing a lot of salt, is there something I should? Okay, we need to do butter, or how do I fix what I've done I can?
And I think fast food or Thanksgiving dinner or any time you eat something you're like, that was a bad choice, and I really know that was a bad choice. Anything you can do, like your next meal, eat lighter. Try to throw in some extra fruits and vegetables. Drink a lot of water. Anything to kind of just remind your body that was a little special treat. We're not doing that again. Like, just to not fall in the habit of just making it a habit.
Got it.
But
so it's not necessarily like, oh yeah, if you do this, then doing this is going to help.
Not really. And I think any of those, like, you've got this baseball tournament. That's a lot of sitting watching baseball. Anytime you can also get up in between innings, anytime you can move around in between will help, you know. But we all have these events that, you just know going in, this is going to be bad.
Is what it is. I'm already packing the snack bags and the Gatorade.
Anything you can do to be proactive, but also accepting, like, these are my choices and this is what it's going to be.
So it sounds like there's just a balance you have to strike.
Absolutely.
If it's a bad week, you try and make some better choices next week.
Exactly.
Okay. Any super red flags that we should keep an eye out for, or things that's like, oh, if you can avoid it at all costs?
Yeah. I would say generally, again, no matter what type of eating out you're doing, anything you can do to avoid as much fried food as you can.
Okay.
Those are just going to be foods that generally are going to make you feel worse. They're going to be much higher calorie and the same density as like a non-fried food, but also knowing that we all want French fries every once in a while.
Yeah.
So when you want them, don't get the extra large size. Get the kid size or the small size. and try to cut back on
And that can go for parents too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love a good bottom of the bag French fry.
Yeah.
I love those stragglers.
With the salt at the bottom.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
But just knowing like this is we're not doing this every day, and we're doing the small size, and then we're gonna get up and move.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there is a balance that you can strike.
Absolutely.
Anything I have not talked about, anything I've missed
No.
that could change the way we kind of think about it.
I think most importantly is just to remember the balance that, you know, even if you're eating at home or eating out, we all make not the best choices at times. It's trying to make better choices most of the time.
Right.
And I think that's
fair.
Yeah.
I don't think we should feel necessarily guilty about it.
Absolutely.
I think there are ways of looking at it, doing it, but being conscious of your decisions and having that balance and doing what's right for your kids. Sometimes it might not be keeping them up until like 9:30 so that they can eat dinner. Probably not the best choice.
Right.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kristen,
Of
so
course,
much. We
of
appreciate y'all joining us. We will be back next week with another back to school piece, talking about safety for your kids' back when their backpacks are too heavy. So thank you so much. We'll see you next week at 11 o'clock on Friday.